going on, guys? My name is Chris and I'm the owner of this dumpster fire we're calling a G35 twin turbo. Many of you guys may know me from Instagram. The name is Sedan. It recently blew up. So what we're gonna do on this channel is understand why it blew up, take apart everything, and there's a few options for drivetrain which we're looking at right now. One is sticking with the VQ, the other is not. So we'll break down the pros and cons of each of those. But first thing we have to do is get this motor out, detach it from the trans, and then really see what the hell went wrong. So the other day, I was just idling in the parking lot right here, and I thought it was my clutch making noise. So I was pushing in the clutch pedal to kind of disengage the clutch, and all of a sudden, do. What the? Holy shit! Rod blows a window through the upper oil pan and block. So we're gonna see why that happened. I think I may have bent a rod. The car was sitting at 450 and like 420 torque. So for a completely stock long block, that is a little bit much to ask. Some may say it's not, but for me, that's, you know, not 9 pounds of boost got us there on a Greddy 18G kit on ethanol. So yeah, we're gonna be kind of disassembling this car, looking at what our options are, and then kind of finalizing the new drivetrain. Our shop right here is so close to Bradenton Motorsports Park. We love going there all the time, so we'll see if we can't get this car to shave a few seconds off. The fastest I went in this was a 12.0 at 119. Mainly the 60 foot. I have some ET Street R's on the back, so they're a great tire for roll racing, things like that. But as far as dead hooking on a 6-speed gearbox, not exactly your best friend. This car came as a G35X, so automatic all-wheel drive, and I converted it maybe 2 years ago to 6-speed rear-wheel drive with a CD000. That was a fun project. I will be showing you guys some clips from that. I do have that full video, that full breakdown. So the first step is I want to show you guys what the hell happened. So there's 2 large holes in the oil pan. I want to show you that real quick, then we'll detach the trans, and then we'll go ahead and throw the car up on jacks, remove the transmission, remove the motor. I have most of the harness off, everything like that, a couple cables out back. We'll get the motor out and we'll start taking it apart and see what it looks like on the inside. So right here is obviously the hole that you don't want in your block. There's an equal size one on the other side. So like I said, we're gonna pull this motor out and see what the hell it looks like inside, and then maybe diagnose exactly what it looks like. Everything else looks fine. We're going to go ahead and take this motor out to understand why these holes appeared randomly at idle. So the next bit, I have to remove some of the plugs for the last bit of the harness up here, remove the bell housing bolts, and after that we should be able to just do the motor mounts and then get the engine out. So I got the last bit of the harness out, laid it all up here. We have a pretty bare engine to work with right now. The last little thing I gotta do is pull the remaining bolts off of the bell housing, motor mounts, and then we're good to pull the motor. Let's get to it. So I decided to take a lot of the accessories off, or at least move them out of the way. I didn't think I was gonna have to. I obviously knew I'd have to remove this, but I think I'm just gonna kind of hang this over, and then to get to this last plug up here, I really gotta move the alternator to make it easier on myself. Right there. Look at this, you can stick your hand in it. That's crazy. So this is a sandwich plate, and this allows you to run an external oil cooler with no issue. Typically there's a thermostatic sort of housing for the coolant. It's a coolant bypass, but I removed that. And then I run this sandwich plate with my oil filter right there. This is my oil feed line. Initially, the Greddy kit, it comes with just a straight NPT fitting that you tee eventually. I wanted to use this external oil cooler and sandwich plate, so I just got a 45, a T-split, another 45, some braided clutch line that I then split again for each turbo feed line, and this is your OEM oil pressure sensor. So with that setup, you're able to run all this together and it works flawlessly, besides the 2 holes in the block. Here we go, you moron. That air is going to be super loud in the video. Did it! It took about 15 times as long as I thought it was going to. What a clown. Hours longer than I wanted it to. We kept getting hung up on the wastegates and I didn't take them off. So when the transmission and the engine were about 5 inches apart, they were jamming up, so I had to jerry rig all these custom tools and all that nonsense. But yeah, so we've got it on the engine stand right now. I did see that things like my clutch are getting worn out for sure. It's grinding down the actual, I guess these are large style rivets. But yeah, so that'll need to be upgraded. Everything else is looking fine.
Hey, can I just ask one question?
Yeah.
What is on your face?
It might be this. Hold on, I got you. How's that?
Indian Chief whiskey right there.
All right, so we did find some pieces of this block. Well, this is actually the girdle. This is going to be the pour cast aluminum girdle. That's why I should always upgrade to billet. It'll probably still blow up, but it won't be that easy. What else? I messed up one of these primary O2s. But other than that, it's looking good. Our next step is to actually flip it upside down, take the oil pan, the lower and the upper off, and we'll be able to see everything that's happened. I can already see a loose rod dangling, I believe. So we'll see what that looks like. But yeah, other than that, the next time around, we're gonna go do the breakdown of exactly what the hell went wrong. And then from there, we will devise a plan, whether it's build the VQ, or swap the drivetrain completely. I'm sure you can all guess what that drivetrain will be. How's that look? Do I look good?
You look beautiful.
Thanks, Keith. All right, well, yeah, we're gonna go home, and then tomorrow we're gonna take that apart and see what the damage is and break down what exactly